reptar. He's no ordinary monster. He's a lizard with a heart of gold. Don't believe the lies you've been told. He's a fire-breathing child to me.
Welcome to Barf City, episode 46. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. You remember the number right away.
Yeah. So we've discussed what I want. I actually fully watched the video. The video I'm referring to in this episode for the viewers, if you want to go watch it yourself, is called Tragedy of a Monster. Uh, it's on YouTube. It's by, well, no, it's not Tragedy. It's Sympathy for the Monster by Curious Archives on YouTube. So kind of, he's the one that gave me this idea. Um, like he didn't give it to me, but I came across this video, gave me the idea. Just want to, clarify that. And the talks of it is, growing up, never really thought about it until adult being pointed out like that. Of course, Shin Godzilla is the first one that really made me really look into this. Monsters are more tragic than people give them credit for. Everyone's just like, oh, scary big monster. But a lot of them are so tragic, actually. Like, sympathetic, really, to even humans. Like, a simple one is the Creature from the Black Lagoon movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if if anybody's watched it and pay attention. He's just swimming around and he gets shot by a fucking harpoon. Like, the damn thing is minding its own business. And a human comes up and shoots it with a fucking harpoon. Like, yeah, I'd be pissed off too. You come into my house and you shoot me with a fucking harpoon. Like, and the next time when he gets on that boat, he's not initially there to hurt anybody, but gets caught on fire. Like, now he's pissed off and now he wants to hurt people. But like, realistically, like, monsters for me have gone from something scary for the most part to something sympathetically tragic in a lot of them. Like I'm more scared of things that either are humans or were humans at one point. At this point, more than monsters.
Yeah.
Because like, we'll take Shin Godzilla for example, the 2016 Shin Godzilla movie, phenomenal movie. Shin Godzilla appears in the water. You just see the tail of the creature, and there's red all around it, which kind of find out it's blood. It is a fish. I can't remember which fish type of fish or what it is. So, that has been mutated through radioactive waste dumping in the ocean, and it's mutated and grown so big, and it doesn't know what the fuck's going on with itself. And then it comes on land the first time, and it literally has blood gushing out of its gills. It's literally in pain this entire movie as it's evolving, even down to the song that is portrayed for it. The line starting out, if I die in this world, who will know something of me? You know, it's the whole thing is just, it's tragic. It's a monster that wants to die because it's in pain, but it's constantly evolving to survive. because like in that song for it, you'll hear the female operatic voice, which is representing what he feels, and then you hear this deep toned, male operatic voice speaking from the body to live, to keep going, to evolve. And to me, and then that's just that's kind of a shitty existence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he never actually outwardly attacks people for the most part. When he first comes through, he's freaking out. He's first time on land. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just running around being like he's being a creature that's in pain. Like we've seen it in our natural life. Like a dog, if its paw's hurt, it'll run around, it'll try and snap at someone, a cat with a toothache will strike, will be more aggressive. And it's just this little simplest things that will make some. Hell, I know about me. If I wake up and I'm in a bad mood because I'm got a massive migraine or my back's are hurting,
I
I'm kind of an extra dick.
think everybody's like that.
Yeah. So it's like, and then the times that it attacks, like the first time it uses atomic breath, is because America comes in with their bombers and drops a fucking bomb on its back, like blows up, and you see just a pool of blood just come off its back, and it hurts him. And he activates his atomic breath and destroys everything, including them. Like most of the time, he's just lumbering through the city, just trying to figure out what he's supposed to do, what's going on. And so like, yeah, Shin Godzilla is just it's kind of tragic. Like it's supposed to be a whole innuendo of like the still goes back to arc into the nuclear stuff is bad. Like that was the whole point in the very first Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like because the director for it the original Godzilla, Ishiro Honda, I hope I'm saying it right, has a famous quote from his monsters are tragic beings. They're born too tall, too strong, too heavy. They are not evil by choice. That is their tragedy. They do not attack people because they want to, but because of their size and strength, mankind has no other choice but to defend itself. After several stories such as this, people end up having a kind of affection of the monsters. They end up caring about them. Yeah, I mean it's true. Like you take hell, go back to the old King Kong movies.
Yeah.
Dude's just living the life in this fucking island, doing his thing. Man comes in, we're the aggressors. We instantly shoot at him. You know, and it leads up to the final, getting brought over to the United States, climbing the fucking building, getting shot off the building. I'm like, Kong didn't ask for none of that. He was just minding his own business, being big monkey.
Yeah.
Hey, hell, we can go to Frankenstein.
That's the example I was gonna give. I was like, it reminds me of Frankenstein.
Yeah, I mean, Kong and Frankenstein's got a lot in common in some aspects. I mean, he's a monster that was because if you really, I mean, the book makes him more aggressive, more cunning than the movie does.
I don't know about
Uh,
cunning, but it definitely makes him more aggressive.
yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing. But the movie takes a different turn because you see that from his start of his life, like he's technically an infant. His mind doesn't know anything but violence thanks to Dr. Frankenstein in the very beginning. Like Frankenstein's abusive to this creation. And then the townspeople abusive to him. He knows nothing but violence towards him.
Yeah.
So what does he give in response? He gives violence back in response. That's the that's something like you don't get something you can't really attach yourself to stuff like Michael Myers. Hell, you can actually really realistically the only slasher that's tragic, honestly, is Jason.
Yeah, I could give you Jason.
I mean, technically you could say, oh, some of the Ghostface guys, but they're assholes. There's other better ways to handle being bullied or whatever,
Yeah,
or your
I would
obsession.
argue every one of those people were all, but yeah. Mm.
Well, isn't I can't remember which one was done it because they were bullied.
Because they were bullied.
Maybe that was maybe that was in the TV show when they done their that weird ass
That might
TV
have been a
show.
TV show. Yeah, one of the
That TV
seasons.
show is weird.
Yeah, it's TV shows are tricky to do slashers. It's easier in a
Hmm.
movie format, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Unless you do like an anthology slasher
Yeah,
show.
you could do anthology. That would work. Yeah.
My cat
Usually,
is over there making weird
slasher TV
noises.
shows usually treat every season like a new story, and the whole thing is one.
Hmm.
But it's tricky because with slasher movies, you usually want to see body counts, and so a lot of times only one person gets killed per episode, so it can be kind of disappointing to watch sometimes.
Yeah. Like, and then you got some ghosts. Yeah, some ghosts that are tragic, or you can be sympathetic to some ghosts,
Yeah, yeah.
but primarily, like, it's this whole thing that monsters are something evil. Like, I
Um,
mean, if you look back in the past, our actual history, that people thought rhinos were monsters. Have you seen some of the old artwork of rhinos?
not particularly, but
Dude, they were so like dramatized, like in
yeah.
their artwork of them. And then if you look at old maps, people used monsters as a way of explaining, oh, why that seas over there is dangerous. So like you start out with this culture that monsters are evil, always evil, 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 evil. Look at all the mythology, and then you get to a swing, and I think this started primarily with a lot of our monster movies. Uh, and you start seeing a shift to the tragic monsters.
Yeah.
These monsters that show like, hey, not all monsters were evil. You know, it's like kind of a better way of looking at it because like we got the cursed. Man turns into a werewolf. The man might be a good guy, but when he turns into the werewolf, he's a beast. He's a monster. There's no reasoning with him. And then you have some creatures like demons. They're evil creatures. They're evil monsters. But then you get stuff like again, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein. I mean, hell, even the original Godzilla. It's actually said described in the guidebook that the reason he looks so scaly and burnt like he is because his species of dinosaur, his species was actually wiped out by the hydrogen, by the nuclear bombs, and
Oh,
he
really?
just survived that and mutated. His skin
Yeah.
is actually singed from the bomb.
Hmm.
And Tokyo just happened, Japan just happens to be the closest thing to him when he goes over there, and he associates humans with pain. Like now I mean, he eats radioactive sources. That's his now his food. We
Yeah.
have that. Humans are now, humans are something that he's seen and as the bomb happens. So now he correlates humans to pain. So yeah, he's just going to kill anything in his way. But he's a monster created from our own hubris. Humans thought we could be God in a sense, destroy and create what we want. Well, you created Godzilla, and now look what the fuck happened. It's nature kind of saying, fuck you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the dangers of nuclear weapons. I mean, nuclear weapons are extremely dangerous, and Godzilla shows that. I mean, I guess you can go now with the legendary stuff with Godzilla, where he absolutely is the force of nature. He's there to balance an ecosystem.
Yeah.
And his main target, like when you see the fight, the Mutos and then Ghidorah. And Ghidorah is an alien species who's there to wreck the ecosystem because he's not native to the planet. He doesn't care about the planet's ecosystem. He just wants to control. So he is a pure evil monster. But, and then on topic of aliens, then, from Ghidorah, alien movies are weird ones. And like, we have this thing where aliens started out as always evil. Every alien we encountered in movies were evil.
Yeah, that's pretty common for alien movies.
Yeah.
There are
And
some where the
then
aliens are nice though. Yeah.
and then we get to the point where, there are some nice aliens, but they're
Yeah.
more humanoid in look.
Yeah.
And like, Spock and stuff, ones like that. But even the Klingons were evil in some of those, and
Well,
they were kind of human.
E.T. He's kind of a nice
ET's one
alien.
of the first non-humanoid looking extraterrestrial that was good.
Yep. Alf
He's one of
is nice. Yeah.
Alf and
Yeah.
ET. But then you get later in mediums like video games stuff, and we start to actually see aliens as, oh, there are some actual good aliens. They're just like humans. Some of them are assholes, some of them are good.
Oh man.
Like one thing that he pointed out was like in and I thought of the same thing. I'm sure Nintendo, like, I mean, didn't think, oh, kids like me and him's gonna believe this, but there's a creature you fight in Mario Galaxy, and you're flying through, and you accidentally wreck into this egg and crack it, and the baby hat starts to hatch, and
Yeah,
immediately you
the
have to fight
piranha
it.
plant. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that made me feel like the villain there, bro. Like,
Oh really?
yeah, because I just killed I just literally forcefully forced this egg to hatch. Its
Well, you
first
didn't do it on
encounter with it.
purpose though. You just landed on it.
Yeah,
Mm.
I know it was an accident, but the thing is, the baby doesn't know that. And then you immediately fight it.
Well, yeah, you're defending yourself.
Well, it's defending itself.
Yeah. Were you supposed to just let it kill you so you can be the good guy? Mm.
No, you're supposed to just like leave it alone.
Where are you gonna go?
It's a whole galaxy.
You're trapped on that tiny little planet. The star don't appear until after you kill
Exactly. That means the
it.
creator's meant for you to kill a newborn infant baby. I don't know. Have us jump on its back and tame it. I don't know. But you literally kill a baby creature.
Yep.
You murderer. I'm sure Nintendo didn't mean for people to take it that way, but like,
Yeah, I doubt it's that deep with them. I think they just wanted a creature and they were just trying to think
yeah.
of a unique idea. So, mm, mm.
But in my opinion, that was not the best idea. Like, could have made it already a full grown creature that is already like violent, and you land there.
Well, who's to say that? I mean, how do you know that the baby isn't necessarily evil?
I mean, it's a carnivorous plant. I mean, it's going to eat things. That's its nature.
Yeah, but it could be
Like,
evil too. You don't know.
but the thing is, it's still an animal. Those plants don't have like an actual mind. They just eat things that get near them.
I think you're looking
It's
way into it, but yeah.
well, no, that's what I mean. They're literally that's what they're described as. So like, there's some sentient creatures in Mario and some non-sentient creatures. Like Bowser's evil. He's an asshole. Man needs to actually go get laid.
He's trying, but Peach won't let him.
He needs to go find someone willing.
Apparently, he did at one point. He has kids, so
And yeah, I mean, maybe he's evil because his wife died. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe the death of his wife at the hands of the toad. I don't know. Maybe she ate a bad mushroom, so now he hates all toads. But they're just, I don't know, I just resonate with monsters a lot of times in these movies anymore. Started seeing humans as more as the assholes in these films.
I always, with movies like that, I always just kind of see myself more as an observer. I don't really take sides in those situations.
Well, I
I just
mean,
see it as a situation that just kind of happened. So the humans stumbled upon the home of this creature. The creature's naturally defending themselves, and the humans start defending themselves against the creature that's defending themselves, and it's just kind of just unfolds from there. That's just the way I view it. So I don't view it as who's good and who's evil here.
I mean, that's not the only one. I mean, like, there's some movies where the aliens are actually not bad, just people attack them immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, you get like, I mean, I guess there's a lot of people even in the game community that sees it as well. Like, there's so many people that play Skyrim and never kill Parthenax.
Kill what?
Parthenax.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Do you kill Parthenax?
No.
Good.
But I don't know. I never really thought about it, but no.
Because he was an evil dragon. He was once evil. He even says it himself. I mean, he even states that is it better to be born good or to have
I
become
would
good through
say it
trials and
I would say
tribulations?
it depends on the character I'm playing as, but typically it's very common for me to play as a noble warrior, so I did not. So usually
Nah.
I tend to play a character to where the character is basically just will only kill somebody or something if they're defending themselves. So,
Yeah,
but I would never like the character wouldn't like go up to them and just kill them just for the sake of killing them or to gain something out of it. Like they wouldn't do that. So
yeah.
typically I don't play those kind of characters, but I have before. So, but normally
I
I play
don't
like noble warriors. So
tend to play those characters.
yeah,
Like I have only for like in Skyrim for like when I was uh achievement hunting because you had to get all those bounties and shit.
yeah.
So I made a whole like
Yeah.
I made a save, went and got that achievement, and then resaved, reconverted, reloaded my previous save before that I did that. And I felt like an asshole doing that the entire time, just storm shouting motherfuckers and killing everyone in town. Now there are times, yes, I'm feeling very murdery, so I'll like land on a like in best examples like in Starfield, you can do a whole criminal run. Like, yeah, I've done that. Yeah. It's kind of fun sometimes just getting let out some steam and with the character. But with that one, it's kind of easy to do because it's a whole different universe. So it's like, oh, who would I want to be in this universe? Like, because you're going through the multiverse every time you ascend.
Reminds me of I know I talk about Daggerfall way too much, but it's just there's so much stuff in the game, so it's easy to come up with an example.
Yeah,
Uh, but there's one particular quest that you do if you catch lycanthropy, and
yeah,
I did it. I didn't know I had never caught it before, so I didn't know how the quest would go. And
yeah,
so you wait for someone to contact you, and they send you a letter saying that they're aware that you've caught this, and they're like, we're either gonna hunt you down, or you can come in contact with us to try to get help. We'll help you get rid of it. So I got in contact with them, and
yeah,
they told me what I needed to do. I got some items, and then they said, what you got to do is you got to go to someone else who also has it, and then do. I can't remember exactly how the quest goes, but you give them the item, and then it kills them, and that gets rid of it from you, takes it away from you.
yeah.
And I was just like, okay, well, I don't know if my character would do something like this, but I need to get rid of this. So I guess I'll just go do it. So I went up to someone, they told me where the house was. I went to the house and went up in the attic, and it turned out to be a kid. And I went up there and I was just like, well, is this the person? So I went up there and talked to them. And then they were talking about how they haven't been feeling good, they've been sick, and they go into all this dialogue and stuff like that. And then you do the deed, and I remember walking out of the house and just staring for a while because I was like, I don't really feel good about what I just did. I was
No,
like,
I
I feel
mean
horrible.
you just
And I think
murdered a
that's
chick.
I think the quest is meant to make you feel that way. You just did something horrible in order to get rid of something horrible away from you. So, and I was like, and it worked because I did not feel good about it either.
It was like in Shadow of Colossus. Like most of
Yeah.
the Colossus, the giants, they're you have to defeat them all, but like most of them are like actively attacking. Like they're massive giant creatures, and they're actually trying to kill you. But then there's one you come up to that's not that's just the smallest of them all, and like it's kind of about the size of an elephant, a
Yeah.
smaller elephant, and you kill it. And I kid you not. This is how you kill it. It's scared of you. Like this thing, you push it back off a cliff using a torch.
Jeez.
Like because it's scared of you. And it keeps backing away from you. Use this torch to swing at it and keeping it backed up. And you literally drive it off the edge of a cliff.
Jeez.
I'm like, I don't feel good about this choice. Like, why? Why did you just make me murder this thing like this? Like, if I walked into the room and this giant thing made of rock attacked me, like, yeah, whatever, beat the shit out of it. But like, it actively is cowering of fear of me, and you're making me have to back it up and drive it off a cliff. What? And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a very sympathetic monster right there.
Yeah. It's a type of quest that wants to make you think about what you just did. You're like, hmm. So,
Well, my response is like, I don't think about what I just did. I think about what the devs made.
well, you didn't have to do it necessarily. You
Yeah,
could
you
have said
actually
no.
have to do it to complete the game.
Oh, that's one you have to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. You still could just not do the quest and just not complete the quest. You say my
Yes,
character failed this quest because they refused to do this quest.
but
So
you can't continue if you don't do it.
I know. And that's why you say you failed the quest.
You just end the
So,
game. You're
yeah, pretty
saying you
much.
mean just if you want to keep playing the game, you're being forced to do that.
Yep.
So it's still the devs' fault. They shouldn't have made a creature like that. They shouldn't have made that story. But like, and it really odd me out because, like I said, the other creatures are massive, like massively massive.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're real people. So,
I mean, but something that's actively scared
yeah.
shows, emotions. It shows fear. It's kind of, it's like saying, "Oh, a dog's not human, so I'll just kick it off the cliff."
No, I didn't say anything about humans. I just said they're not real. Like it's just a computer. It's not like it's real life. So,
Yeah, but it makes you think, like, how fucked up of a person to make that? Like, dang, this would be a cool idea. We have all these big epic boss fights. How about we make one of the bosses extremely scary? so we can make the character just back him up over a cliff.
Well, I mean, Shadow of Colossus, I would view that game more as like an action adventure game anyway.
Yeah.
And to me, action adventure games is like to me, I always view those as like playing. It's sort of like playing a movie. So if I was watching a
Yeah.
movie and a certain character did something that I disagreed with, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, how dare they make this movie this way?" I would just say, "Well, that's just what the story does." So I view it the same way in
No,
a game.
I
Now in an
still say,
RPG where my character's making supposed to be making decisions or not making
yeah,
decisions based on things, then now that's a little different. So
because that's your choices.
yeah,
Oh no, I'm still the type of person I'll look at and be like,
because
what
a
was
lot of
going through the
times,
writer's mind to do this?
yeah, a lot of times if I make like when I'm playing as a character in an action adventure game, I never really see myself as that character. To me, it's just like I'm playing as this character. I'm just the
Hmm.
controller of the character. I'm not actually making these decisions. So that's the way I view it with those games. Now with an RPG, I view it that this is a version of me or at least a character I'm playing as in some way. So
Yeah.
that's why I felt much more bad about that. In all honesty, if that would have been a mission in an action adventure game, I probably wouldn't even have felt bad about it. So I probably would have just done it and been
You
like, wow, that was a
monster.
twist. I would have been like, that's a twisted story. I was like, all right, moving on from that. So
I don't know. Like, I don't like playing characters that do extra shady shit or morally questionable. Like, if the whole game's like, oh, you're gonna be playing this game is all about a villain.
yeah,
Okay, well, I guess mean, I would see that as a damn, that was dark, but he is a villain.
yeah.
But when you're supposed to be the protagonist, the hero,
Well, maybe you're an anti-hero.
yeah,
You're a hero that does questionable things sometimes. So,
I mean, but if a creature is actively that scared, is it really a threat to humanity in general? Like, just put a bunch of fucking torches around the building it's in, he'll never leave. Like, what's the point in killing this colossus? It just literally won't ever leave. You just put torches around everywhere.
yeah.
I mean, just pay some guys to keep the torches lit, changed out. Kill all the rest that are actively killing, destroying humanity. We have way too different things. My thing is, man, if you're telling me that this character is supposed to be the hero of the story, the protagonist, and they like doing questionable things, or you show them doing extremely questionable things, I'm like, dude, that's not the hero. Like, he's just like, he's an asshole.
Some heroes are.
Honestly, yeah. Well, it's like I wouldn't call uh Homelander a fucking hero, but there's a group of people in that world that see him as a hero, even though he murders. I'm like, if you're a murdering, milk drinking douchebag, you're not a hero. Like obsessively milk drinking. Like this dude has a weird milk obsession. Like I don't understand Homelander. I will never understand that character.
Is that a movie? I've never seen it.
That's The Boys.
The Boys.
Yeah, it's the TV show The Boys slash comic series.
Oh, okay. I never watched it.
Yeah, the main character Homelander, he's like a Superman wannabe. He
Hmm.
can fly. He's got super strength. He's almost invincible. He's got super hearing. Heat vision. But like he is such fucking douche. Like, uh,
Hmm.
he's like, but the whole thing of The Boys is like, uh, kind of supposed to be this more satire, like darkness of heroes, like because it's a company that owns the heroes, and so they do a lot of like commercials. They're all celebrities. It's like kind of tries. They're I guess they seem to be try to be realistic heroes in a sense, like A Train. Like the first thing you see with A Train is he's running super fast because he's a speedster type, and he completely obliterates one of the main character's girlfriends. Like they're holding each other's hands. She steps off the curb. She's like right off the curb, and A Train just blasts through her. And he's sitting there with blood all over him. A Train's covered in her organs and shit, and he's holding her fucking hand still because it's all that's left of her. And he goes a whole media control of she just stepped out. She just stepped out on the road. I didn't even get a chance to react. Like, bitch, you're a fucking speedster and you couldn't react. Nah. Turns out it's because he was fucked up on drugs. Anywho, I mean, I guess I can probably beat a dead horse on the whole sympathy for a monster all day long, but
Oh crap.
so there's actually something else that I caught my attention when I was just scrolling through YouTube. I like never watched the video, but the topic kind of made me chuckle.
Yeah.
It's the it was mainly the thumbnail that got kind of made me chuckle. It was a bunch of different like anime video game blade weapons, and in the thumbnails over top of them says the blade of fearsome sides. One of my favorite character tropes. So I guess it's talking about characters and animes and shows and games with these massive swords.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it has become honestly, it has become a big trope lately. These big ass swords. Because you look at the Downward Great Sword in Skyrim, it's a hunking beast.
I
You got uh, Cloud Sword from
was about to say no one can beat Cloud Sword. Well, maybe except Sephiroth's sword. Yeah.
yeah Sephiroth Sword. You got Berserk Sword from Berserk.
Yep.
Uh, fuck. Kenpachi Saraki's. Not Kenpachi Saraki. Why did I think Kenpachi Saraki? Maybe because I was looking at the Bleach Sword my first, while I was trying to think of a bad character, villainish character.
Yeah.
Because like Zabuza from Naruto, he kind of makes me feel like he makes you think of Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach a lot of times. Because they're technically both the bad guy, but they're not really actually truly bad guys in a sense when you really get to know
Yeah.
them. They're both just very tragic characters. Uh Ichigo's, his both of his Zanpakutos, massive ass fucking swords. Um Inuyasha, big ass blade when he releases it. Uh Dante from Devil May Cry, his sword keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Is it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
as he gets stronger, the blade gets bigger.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's funny. Or what? What's that game? Shit. They they're like they do kind of like Mortal Kombat, where they have a lot of like special people show up. It's a sword game, but like one of them had Yoda appear as a special character.
Super Smash Bros.
No, uh, shit, I ain't played this fighting game forever. Shit, what was that game?
It's the only one I could think of with Yoshi and stuff.
No, Yoda.
Oh, Yoda. I thought you said Yoshi. Oh, I don't know what game you're talking about then.
Uh, Soul Calibur, the Soul Calibur series. They have a fucking massive ass swords in there.
Yeah, I don't really care for those games actually. Admittedly.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I think they have one where even Link is in it, don't they?
yeah, because it's all
Yeah.
about sword people.
Yeah, the Nintendo version. Yeah, has
Yeah.
Link. Yeah.
Hell, they've had Darth Vader, Yoda,
Yeah.
uh, Geralt of Rivia. But basically any character in any media that has a sword is fair is like basically what they'll like show up. Like they've had uh Ezio Auditore di Firenze. Like I think it's some weird shit in that game. Like, but yeah, it's like what is with sword animes and shows and games with people with these massive oversized swords?
Just another way to try to make them look cool, I guess.
I mean, I guess you kind of do look cool if you just walk up and
Yeah.
this fucking blade that's bigger than you probably weighs about the same amount as you, and you're just one handed, just willy nilly swinging it around. I guess. I mean, it scared the shit out of me if I see someone doing it.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. I mentioned to somebody, I don't even remember who it was, but I was talking about how cool Cloud Sword is. I was like, yeah, it's really cool and it'd be handy in battle, but it'd be so impractical to like carry on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you realize how easily it would be to like bump into crap as you were walking around? Like, holy crap.
Well, the thing is, in the remake, they allow you to actually have different swords, and they're all massive swords.
Yeah.
Like, like you get your typical in the remake. You got the Buster Blade, the original. Then you
Ow.
get just some Iron Blade. Like, there's all kinds of weird stuff. Uh, apparently, you can get a nail bat as your weapon in that game. An oversized bat with nails in it. Man, this blade almost looks like he's got the hilt of the Buster Blade. It's a cleaver sword called Hard Edge. Mithril Saber, Twin Stinger, which, like, they have some cool ass designs, but, like, damn, like, all of them are so fucking massive. Even the baseball bat. Like, if it's something like Inuyasha's, where it's like it's a normal size katana until you draw it out and then it becomes big,
Yeah.
that to me is the coolest thing. Because, like, it's tiny, you can walk around carrying it,
Mm.
and then you
It's
just
definitely more
unsheath
realistic,
it.
I'll say that. Yeah.
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 Also, that's a cool, good way to like make your enemy goes, what the fuck? She's like, oh, he's got to look at that katana. Just pulls out this massive fucking blade.
It just reminds me of a meme I saw one time
Oh,
where he just like I can't really explain it in a way that it'd be funny. It'd be funnier if you just saw it, but like he pulled and he has two swords on him, but he's not
uh-huh.
showing the other sword. He pulls out a sword. He was like, "Oh, I see you have a bigger sword. Here, let me put mine away." And then he pulls out the other one. He's like, "Ah, I got another big sword." I don't know. It's funnier if you watch it, but
The idea behind it is
yeah,
stupid. Like,
that's one of those 3 a.m. memes that you giggle about and while you're watching.
like I'm trying to remember if it's a show or a movie. No, it's a movie. It's like the Pirates of
It's
the
hot.
Caribbean movie. I think it's the second one
Yeah.
where they're going to the meeting and the inside the building. She and Elizabeth Swan's taking all the guns off, the weapons off her. And like she reaches back behind herself and pulls out another one. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? Where'd you pull that out of?"
Yeah, it's either the second or third one. I'm not sure which one, but yeah, I
I can't
remember that scene.
remember.
Yeah, I do remember that though. Yeah.
And that's another trope in like movies and shows and shit. These characters with all these weapons out of
Just
nowhere.
tons, yeah, of
Like I
guns.
understand if it's like a video game style show, like oh they have an inventory or a bag of holding something. But like some of these characters are literally just they got one weapon and all of a sudden, oh this sword is inefficient. Let me just use this one. Where the fuck that come from? Or they just like pull out a fucking random ass thing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it's like the most randomest thing that world like it's almost like imaging someone like oh it's a sword fighting show. This dude just started fighting with a sword and like I'm actually not really good with this, but I'm better with this. Just pulls out a fucking gun, boom, out of nowhere. It's like, where the fuck did you pull that out of? What the fuck media is this? That's how I feel about
Oh my
shows
neck.
sometimes.
About anime shows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like now with Bleach, hell, that just came to my like anybody who's watched Bleach and you're up probably past me. I guess it's probably shown in the Thousand Year War, the newer series, but fucking Quincy's have guns now, and they were all energy bows and shit originally. Now one of the things you can get is one of them has a fucking revolver, I guess. I found that out because I'm playing a fucking Bleach game on Roblox, and one of the secondary things you go from this bow from your energy bow to this fucking revolver. I'm like, huh? When
Oh
did
no.
the show about people
Ugh.
killing these hollows, which are these demonic these souls that never passed on, and that become this creature they call hollows, being fought with by people with magical powers, soul power, or whatever,
Yeah.
and
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
swords that are alive called Zongpak toes. And then you have these Quincy's show up. Oh, cool. They use their spiritual energy to form a bow. That's cool. Now what? They got fucking pistols, robotic limbs. Huh?
Oh
What?
man.
I get it. Quincy's are humans just with great spiritual power, but like, it's Japan. You don't need all these fucking guns. I'm like, that's another thing. Another trope is anime having a lot of like American things in it, even if it's based in Japan.
Yep.
Like, I get if it's anime that's based in a whole different region, like or maybe a futuristic, like in Code Geass, they're Japan's being took over by Britannia. Yeah, I understand more guns and these stuff. Or like Attack on Titan, they have black powder rifles, but thing is, they're basically first you think it's medieval Europe style. It turns out no, it's just that island. There's other continents, and they're more like World War II era. They have massive blimps and artillery guns. That right there makes sense to me because it's all like it's almost all seems England and Germanic, but like when it's Tokyo specifically, I'm like, but Tokyo don't have a lot of guns. Japan doesn't have a lot of guns.
Oh, they got guns. They're just hidden.
Well, I mean, only the police and military are allowed to have guns in Japan.
They're hidden.
Nah, it's all the katanas.
I've
It's the katanas and all kinds
seen
of
it.
other shit.
They're hidden.
You've never been to Japan.
I don't have to go. I've seen it.
Uh-huh. What with your psychic powers, whatever?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Jeez, it is hot in here.
Yeah. So what is your favorite anime, video game, movie, TV show, like main character trope? What is your favorite trope?
Jeez, you're opening it up. Uh, main character trope.
Yeah.
Like, give me an example.
Like well, like I'm talking about, a lot of main characters that have this, main sword characters having this trope of big ass swords.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know if I really have a favorite, really. Um, hmm, I don't know. I never really thought about that.
Well, what's one that sticks out to you? Like gives
One
you these.
one that's I see very common. I don't know if I would consider this something I would like nor dislike. I'm just kind of it, but I'm aware of it. But a lot of main characters always being like so they kind a lot of times, especially if they're the hero in the movie, it's like it's just kind of like they're just good at everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
And
good
they
at
seem to
everything.
know how to do every they know about a lot of stuff. So
There is a lot of them that are like that.
yeah.
Yeah. I like the heroes that are more like, Naruto that doesn't know a lot until later he starts building, he builds upon what he learns throughout the series.
Yeah.
I'm like I'll watch OP animes and shows with OP characters just to shut off my brain. Like they're my in between before I watch a show that's like has good character development and all that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying some of these OP characters don't have good character development. There's some phenomenal stories,
Yeah.
but like I'm not the biggest. Like I'm like, he's OP. He's just gonna win everything. Oh well. But it's comical to watch how he wins everything. Like uh, the Misfits of Demon King Academy. The Demon King's resurrected. Like one of the things he's able to do is he's able to uh like resurrect people within like 3 seconds of their death.
Oh,
And one of
really?
the first people he fights is
Yeah.
like the pure blood demon or whatever, and he's all like big family. Ooh, I'm a pure blood kind of guy. And he beats the shit out of him. And he's like, "Are you gonna kneel now?" Or something like that. And he's like, "Ah," and so he kills him and resurrects him. How about now? He's like, "Ooh," and he kills him again and resurrects him, kills him again, resurrects him, kills him again, resurrects him. Until he finally gives up,
Oh, my neck.
apologizes, and kneels. Like, okay, that I like. I mean, he's an OP character, but I like the what he was doing right there. That was comical to me.
Yeah.
Or one teacher who's giving him shit. She ends up crossing the line when she goes after his mom because if he loses his sword, he can't. So the school's having a sword competition, and you have to enter your sword, and there's certain and you can't replace that sword if it's broken. That's the rules of the tournament. So she decides she's going to break his sword so he can't enter. Well, his mom has it, and she attacks the girls and his mom that are trying to keep his sword safe. And he shows up, beats the beats the crap out of her, kills her, resurrects her. But when he resurrects her, because of one of his OP powers, he turns her into a half blood and makes her live as a half as punishment. That's the OP I like. I like OP when it's done like that. That's entertainment. But for story value, I don't want a character that's OP as much. Like if he's got like signs that he's OP, I'm fine with that. But it's like if he's OP but he can't control it,
Yeah.
so he's got to keep his power around that because he's now having earned the aspect of using that OP power he's got because he's now has to learn how to control it. That I like, or if they just become OP through a bunch of training, like Saitama, he's OP, but he busted his ass to get that OP power. Because like even with Superman, he's OP, but he had to learn how to control his gifts early on in his childhood.
Yeah.
What's another really good trope? Oh, the main character's not intelligent trope.
Main characters not intelligent.
Yeah, like Naruto, Goku, Luffy, Ichigo. They're not intelligent guys. They're typically more goofy and like they get serious in a fight, but like most of the time they're not very bright. They're not the best at school. Would be the bright. You give them a test, they're gonna fail it.
Hmm.
While most of them have like a friend who's so intelligent. Like it's a trope for them. Some of these main, like especially in shonen animes, for the main character to be strong and kind-hearted and stuff, but not quite the smartest man. But like he's got a friend over here, like the second or third main character, that's the fucking genius of the group.
Hmm.
You never paid attention to the trope?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really watched anything in it with that trope. I mean,
Huh.
I guess I'll give you Naruto. Uh, I don't know if I made it far enough into Naruto to really get a full grasp of his character, though, admittedly. I watched quite a bit of it, but that was also a long time ago. So,
Well, I mean, hell, even in the beginning, he's failing all his classwork in the ninja academy. He's not good with his ninjutsu.
yeah,
And you got
I think
Sasuke,
that
who's
I think that was supposed to be him. I think that was them trying to come up with a way for character development, though.
yeah.
That's the impression I always got with him.
Well,
Like
like
he's not good at it
that's
now, but one day he'll be amazing. That's just kind of the impression I got. So,
well, that's the thing with him. That's the aspect of that trope. Like some of them, like Luffy, he's gonna become great. He's gonna eventually become the king of the pirates.
yeah.
But he's dumber than a fucking sack of bricks. He's loyal as fuck, and he will fight for his friends, and he will, help anybody, that needs help. He won't shy away. He's not bright. The only thing he
Plus,
thinks about
yeah.
is becoming the king of the pirates, friendship, and food.
Plus, that could be a way of the writers trying to come up with a quote unquote flaw in the character. Because
Yeah,
some people don't like it when a character is too quote perfect. So,
yeah.
and so they're trying to figure out like, well, let's just make him stupid. That way he'll have a flaw.
But I mean, it becomes a trope after a while,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I don't know if I've really seen that much stuff where that exists, but maybe if I thought more about it, I would start thinking of some. Mm, mm.
Yeah, now you'll
But
pay attention, huh?
I don't really watch anime that much either, so maybe it's common in anime, I don't know.
I mean, another thing is like another trope is, of course, you get, we all know it's going to be the biggest trope. It's the hero trope. No matter what, we all know they're going to, you know, overcome everything in the end. Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter, Frodo Baggins, even if you want to do non-anime stuff.
Yeah,
We all know in the end they're going to overcome. They're the hero.
right. It'd be kind of a disappointing ending if they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm like, the damsel in distress trope is kind of annoying to me too.
The damsel in distress. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, like, there's always some female character that has to be saved in most media.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Especially in older movies, that's very common.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, like, I like powerful female characters when they're done right. I mean,
Yeah.
same, they're just like male characters to me.
It reminds me of the 90s show Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
Literally like his the girl in the show like her own it feels like her only purpose is just to get kidnapped every episode.
Oh God, yeah.
I was like, is this the whole point of her character? Is just for him to give him a more of a feeling to want to help her? Because now it's
Right.
personal. It's no longer just I'm doing this to do the right thing. Now it's personal.
Yeah. Another common character trope that it makes me laugh sometimes, depends on how it's used.
Yeah.
And other times I'm just like, oh, this is getting cheesy. The mad scientist trope.
Mad scientist. Hmm.
You always have to have a mad scientist somewhere. Most
Yeah.
things.
Maybe the modern day version of that would be like in movies I see a lot of this where the helper of the protagonist will always be like this geeky nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Like but he's the biggest wimp in the world. He can't do any fighting, but he
Yeah,
knows a lot
but
about tech. He's there to be the technology nerd.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like he encompasses two tropes at once.
Yeah.
Those characters, like he's the trusty psychic, mad scientist.
Yeah. It's like these
Uh,
movies have never heard of a strong geek before, apparently.
yeah. Or like another two is like the wise old man and the dumb muscle jock guy.
Oh yeah, wise old man. Yeah. Mm.
I mean, a lot of people do tend to correlate age with wisdom because they've seen a
Yeah.
lot, done a lot of
Yeah. Well, I
times.
definitely would correlate it with experience for sure. I don't, it's not always wisdom though. It depends on who you talk,
Yeah.
but definitely experience, that's for sure. So, but yeah, in movies they're often wise. If they're the older they are, the wiser they are. Yeah.
And the hero always has to have a mentor somewhere.
Yeah.
You always have to have some kind of mentor. Uh, or like the what is it called? The femme fatale. Like some of these shows has that like it's the overused trope of the seductive, cunning woman, like with Batman and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, like if there's a
Cunning
powerful,
woman.
huh?
Oh, to try to like use her like sexuality to influence him or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that does happen quite often. Yeah.
you'll always typically have a rebel character. Got the clown, the detective, or as people call what's another one? The everyman trope.
Oh yeah, the everyman character.
Yeah,
Yeah, usually in comedy movies, they often make that the main character, because they want you to kind of relate to the main character to try to appeal to the anybody, you know.
yeah. You
And
get
then the side
yeah.
characters are usually the comic relief. They're the ones you laugh at when they're making jokes. Yeah.
hmm You get the outlaw trope, or I guess it could also be called the bad boy.
The bad boy. Yeah, a lot of bad boy characters. Yeah.
You always have,
Sometimes they'll throw misunderstood in there too. Misunderstood bad boy character.
yeah.
He's a bad boy, but he's not really that way when you really get to know him. Yeah, kind of thing.
Or my favorite other type of hero trope is the reluctant hero.
Uh
A character who's forced into the heroic role.
oh yeah, like they don't really want to do it, but they're the only one that can do it, or everybody wants them to do it. So
Yeah, because like you get like best examples I think would be like Frodo, Kane from Die Hard,
yeah,
Rambo.
yeah, John McCain's a great example.
Yeah, because he's kind of like fuck. I don't
Pretty
want to do
much in every one
this.
of those movies, yeah, he does not want to do what he's actually doing. He's doing it because it's just the right thing to do. So
Mhm. Uh, you always have to have the optimist person. Like there's a lot of times in most things you have to have the one character that's always optimistic about everything. Yeah, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Always has the positive outlook.
yeah,
I guess some of them will call that guy the comedic relief, I guess.
yeah, you could sometimes the comedic relief and that person's fused into one. Yeah. Sometimes you have the negative character too. So the ones that's
Yeah.
always negative, they always complain all the time. It's like, oh, how am I supposed to do this or whatever along the journey? Yeah.
Another big trope in shows and games and anime and stuff is like the sacrificial lamb. The character that gets sacrificed for the main character.
Oh yeah, their sole purpose is to just to be killed, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, like Ned Stark,
Yeah.
Mufasa,
Yep.
Obi-Wan.
They were only written just to die in this movie.
Yeah, it's like, and a lot of times that pisses me off is some of those characters that are the sacrificial lambs are played by some of my favorite actors. Like Liam Neeson. as Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Uh, like it's just some of these people are just like, damn, why is it the great actors that are like, you know what, yeah, I'll join just to die. Sure.
You want to be in this movie? But there's one exception though. You're literally only in this movie just to die. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I got another project in a couple of months. I can do that. I
Yeah.
can fit this in. I bet you that's why they do it. Is they pick the actors who have something else going on.
They know they're not going to have to be in a sequel or anything. Yeah.
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 Yeah. What's another good one? Oh, the Reckless Daredevil.
Oh yeah, that is a pretty common one. Yeah.
I guess even more common than a lot of them because it also ties into so many other aspects. Is like the orphan character. Like that's their whole reason to be the good
Oh,
person or
I
something. It's
thought
like,
of a kind of a protagonist trope. There's so many movies where it's got, which actually this is something I'm actually not a big fan of, really. But where their life is absolutely just horrible at the beginning of it.
yeah,
Their situation just sucks, and then everything's just suddenly handed over to them so they can fill this role of what they got to do. Literally just handed directly over to them on a silver platter. So
yeah,
that's a very common thing too.
that is.
Yeah, and that's actually one I'm not really the biggest fan of. So I feel like that's kind of lazy writing, but I mean, what do I know? So
It really is. Like, it's like, okay, so he's only a villain because he's had one bad, and that can also be tied into the orphan trope.
yeah, and the bad things that happen to him are often so over the top too. I mean, it's almost comical the type of
Yeah,
things that happen to. I'm like, is that situation really realistic? I guess it's just a movie, so maybe I'm overthinking it too much. Mm.
oh, and you always have to have in any good action movie. A lot of times, you always have to have the kidnapper.
The kidnapper, huh?
Yeah, so many movies have the kidnapper trope,
Oh yeah, I guess to make them look more evil. Like, oh, they stole a kid. They're really evil. Yeah.
or
They
not just
stole
a
a kid.
kid. I mean, they kidnapped. I mean, kidnapping works to anybody. I mean,
Oh well, yeah. I guess a woman or a kid. Yeah, I suppose. Mm.
like, or you have to have an occult. There's like, I get even supernatural movies have their trope, like and it depends on the type of supernatural. Of course, you have like the supernatural hunter. You always have to have the paranormal investigator that hunts ghosts,
Yeah,
or
and
the
they
person
and
that
they're the
slays
ones
the
that give you.
vampire.
Yeah, they're the ones that always give you all the information about the bad guys.
Yeah,
They know everything about them. Yeah. Sort of like the Van Helsing of the movie. Yeah.
yeah, like Hellboy, Buffy,
Yeah.
Dean and Sam Winchester from Supernatural. And also in that, there's always one person, even if they're on the good or bad side, that is part of the occult. Some kind,
Really? Huh.
like some supernatural or magicy, because I guess
Oh,
it's
yeah.
supernatural. It's
Yeah, I
supernatural
guess.
stuff. They have to have someone that studies the occult or can do the hoodoo voodoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that is. I never thought about that either. Yeah, that is kind of a common thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and every one of them. And there's always somebody too that has to be supernaturally sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess another trope, and we'll go back to like superhero stuff, is the fallen hero.
The Fallen.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, and some of that leads also into another thing with another trope, like these superpowered beings that have decided to become villains because they got tired of not being thanked because they were the hero at one point. So they fell from grace and decided to become the villain.
Yep. Well, you know what they say. You either die a hero
Or
or
you
you
live
live
long
long
enough to
enough to
see
see
yourself become
yourself
the
become a
villain.
villain. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's about all the time we got for this episode. So,
Comment down below what What monster do you think is the most sympathetic monster in media? And also, what kind of trope, whether it be in video games, movies, TV shows, anime, whatever, and it could be on the villain side, hero side, or main character, secondary character, whatever, is your favorite trope? And it doesn't matter the genre. So yeah, comment down below on those on YouTube, and like, comment, subscribe while you're there, please, and thank you. And over for our Spotify peeps, follow us over there and do your thing, and buy, go check out this Son of a Guns video game.
Son of a gun.
Yep.
That's a new one.
You never heard Son of a Gun?
No, I've heard the phrase. I've just never heard you call me
Oh, I gotta shake it up every once in a while.
that.
But with that being said, everyone, have a good night. Bye.